Hey, what's up, everybody? I don't know if you can hear me. Not sure if the audio is messed up. I think it gets messed up when I have a lot of videos, either videos I'm watching or videos I've made and not deleted yet or whatever, so it might be a little laggy. But I wanted to talk about the idea, the reality of why people outside of the quote-unquote black race don't like us. It just came into my mind now that when I left the gym yesterday, yeah, some guy, and I do think he a punk. When I say punk, I mean he like pickles in his back pocket. Another guy, a darker complected man, was like, hey man, I like your cornrows, bro. And guys, I tell y'all, man, I really wish I could mute my ears sometime, because a lot of this stuff is like, it's mind twisting to listen to people sit there and talk about absolutely nothing. And the guy that has the cornrows, this dude is like Zach LaVine of the NBA, light skin, like LaMelo Ball, Lonzo Ball, light-skinned it, right? And he tells the girl, who I'm gonna ask her on a date one day, he tells the girl, yeah, man, black man to another black man, that felt good. And I'm sitting there in the chair like, black man? Nigga, you ain't black. What the hell you talking about? I can ask you who your mom and your daddy is, but you ain't no brother. You ain't no brother. Now, if you was on the gun line and they was finna blow your head off asking, trying to identify, you might make it because of your nose and your jawline. But outside of that, bro, you ain't, I don't know. That just bothered me. Like, nigga, you ain't no nigga. What the hell you talking about? But anyway, when I analyze how other races treat real black people, this is really almost like a 45-minute worth conversation, but I'm going to try to make it short. Willie Lynch. For y'all that like to do research, read and anything, go look up the Willie Lynch letters, okay? The Willie Lynch letters. And I'm going to try to be quick. When you leave black people, let's say you have a population of 500 black people, right? All of different, families, obviously. When you leave people alone, people will flourish. Of course, there's the lane for demonic and evil intentions to come in and possess a person to cause disruption. But all in all, if you leave people alone, they're going to trust one another. They're going to have all one common goal and stuff like that. But the Willie Lynch letters let you know, if you want to get rid of a people, you have to play them off against each other. You got to do certain things that they will start to question their own fellow brother and sister. You have to turn young guys against the old guys, saying the old guys, you've gotten to be 70 years old by being a dummy. You don't know nothing. You've been blind, deaf, and dumb for 70 years. You can't tell me nothing. You have to make women look at their men with an eye of, I don't trust you. Who you texting? Who you calling? Where you going? You have to eliminate the respect of the elders. You have to denigrate manhood to where if you doing too much of this or that, you can have your kids taken as a man. There are a lot of things that have been set up on purpose to derail black folk. Why? Because I believe black people are the salt and pepper of this earth. Okay? As a people, meaning humanity as a whole, there's great food, there's great cultures, there's great celebrations, there's great holidays in all cultures. I've only experienced, Caucasian side and the Hispanic side, but be that as it may, All of them have something to offer. But it's not until you activate the black family where you start to get a sense of people will start to want to emulate what we do. Okay? Black folk don't emulate Mexicans. Black folk don't emulate whites, even though we did. I wanted to talk about that the other day as far as fashion and all the different little fads I've already gone through damn near when I was a teenager of wanting to dress in what they call Abercrombie and Fitch, Hollister. We went through that whole phase, so much so that I still button my button all the way to the top. Because that was fashion when I was growing up, that you wanted to look like a little prep school boy. Wearing your pants all the way above your ankles and shit, because you want to give off the impression that you can rock both sides. You can be gangster and you can be white. So outside of that, niggas don't want to be like nobody else but us. But be that as it may, the Catholic Church and a lot of other, the CIA, the FBI, a lot of these different players in the game of destroying or making the black race to heal, they've done a great job, okay? You've done a great job, because I always talk about, I see no other race. I live in Houston, very diverse. I don't see races treat each other like we treat each other. I don't. We treat each other just so... We almost treat each other like when we see each other, somebody is a white, or somebody is going to pretend to be the white supremacist and look at another nigga like, why you looking at me? Don't look at me. Why you looking at my girl? You ain't good enough to look at my girl. That's how we treat each other, as if one or the other is a white man that just cannot stand black people. That's how we treat each other. You know, Charleston White said, man, when do black folk tote guns for other races? Huh? Tell me that. When do black people tote guns for other races? See what I'm saying? So, when you talk about the Willie Lynch letters on how you got to play us off against each other, you have to really make us the butt of our own jokes. You start that with, I want reparations. Well, other races, when you come into a job knowing you don't get paid for 4 weeks, there's something in the back of your mind that tell you, I'm gonna pace myself, because I don't get paid for an extended period of time and I'm not finna overwork myself, right? It's the same thing with reparations. You have this thing in your mind that eventually I'm gonna be compensated for all my mistreatment that me as a person, I had nothing to do with. I've never been in a chain. I've never been hit with a whip. I've never picked cotton with these fingers. So I'm gonna need reparations. And by the way, if they give you reparations, you will have your ancestry traced. They cannot let you walk in a building and say, hey, I'm black, I need some money. No, sir. No, sir. They gonna run your shit just like they do income tax, and it's gonna take a couple months for them to come back and say, sir, you are 40% Irish and 10% Northern Eastern, blah, blah, blah. You gonna be like, but I'm black. Sir, that's not gonna cut it, but I'm black. I'm black. I got dreadlocks. Ain't dreadlocks considered black? No, sir. Well, I sag. Sagging my britches ain't being black? No, sir, sorry. Next person in line, please. So, reparations, I knew when I first heard this idea of y'all gonna pay people $400, y'all gonna just send out random checks like a stimulus. Now you see, you talk about a stimulus, right? And then some people say, well, man, they write checks for other races. What about the Asian hate thing and LGBT? They could do that for us. Why would they do that for us? Why would they write black folk a blank check? Huh? To go do what? They know we don't invest. We don't have any aspirations to leave a legacy. But they do know that there's a certain portion of blacks that will take advantage of it. Make no mistake about it. I'm not saying that all black folk are financially ignorant, but they understand a large majority of us don't know what to do. We don't know if we want to be Lil Uzi. We don't know if we want to be Billy Carson that believes nothing is nothing. We don't know if we want to be LeBron. You know, meaning growing out some stupid ass beard and put on some bifocals that you never worn in your life and say, yeah, man, I know a lot about a lot. No, you don't. Shut up. We don't know if we want to be Curtis Blow or one of these damn TV series drug dealers. We don't know. My parents didn't really take that time to actually figure out what it is that was going to work for me. So it took me still to this day to try to find a lane to get in and stay in it that I know I can succeed monetarily from. See, that's the benefit of having both of your parents in the house, because they share that connection of something's wrong with my son. Let me talk to him. Growing up in the household I grew up in, a black household, Christian, black Baptist, it's disgusting, because one thing Kanye West said is a lot of what goes on within those type of households is that when you really can't help somebody, you will not actually help them. You'll drop that, well, I'll pray for them. You'll drop that line on them. I'm gonna pray for them. I'm gonna pray for them, you know. And it's like, dog, you have the transportation, the money, the resources, all these different things, and you're talking about you're gonna pray for somebody. It is really disgusting. It really is. And that's the kind of household I grew up in, where people don't know how to help one another. They'll consider it a handout. But every other race, when they give their children that type of assistance, I don't think they look at it as, well, I'm just getting a hand. I know you got some kids out here who are entitled and spoiled and shouldn't have the things that they have, or as much of it, but they do. And their parents can rest at night saying, well, motherfucker, I tried. I gave you the money. I gave you the car. I gave you the job. I gave it to you. And you squandered it. You know, and this is why, you know, when I told myself that, and I told Caesar at work, I wouldn't care if my parents came up dead. More or less, my real mother, it would hit me. But my dad and my stepmom, hell no. I feel like they would relieve themselves of a lot of parental pressure that they know that they're ignoring. We're all out the house now. All the kids are out the house, and I promise you, with every dime in my wallet, that they would look at you and say, like, why are you blaming me? It's not my fault. And I'm probably particularly talking to me, because Devin's good, Xavier's decent, Jerry's decent. I'm the only one living by societal standards like a hobo. And they would say, well, why you blaming us? We didn't do this. Didn't blame you. I recognize that y'all was some sorry ass parents. I mean, my dad meeting that woman, I do believe my life would have been not significantly better, but just a little bit better communication wise and goal wise than him meeting my stepmom.
Membership for the year. They told him that he could add the buddy pass to about $30 a year anytime later. So she wasn't transparent about that. She wasn't transparent about this annual fee. He wanted to add the buddy pass to $30. So it's gone. The other dude that was here.
I can't check in through my phone. I ain't got the app. I'm trying to get to that thing.
Read off the number in 1 second. You can walk on through. I got you, man. I see you all the time. What's the number?
281-547.
Yes.
4344.
You bet. Have a good workout.
Thank you, Boom Boom Room. His name tag says Boom Boom. So I said, thank Boom Boom Room. Ray's Boom Boom Room. Who know about that Ray's Boom Boom Room? Tell me. Which one of y'all know about that Ray's Boom Boom Room? Ray's Boom Boom Room. It's too damn hot to be in the jacuzzi, but I'll make myself sit in this sumbitch. Find somewhere to put my devices. But yeah, man. You know, you want these reparations and all this other silliness. it's handicapped us as a people.